Hey guys, it's Riva and we're back with another hero testing video. Today I'm going to be focusing on Krennic, Chewbacca and Nien Nunb, hoping to teach you guys something new and help you improve your gameplay. You probably clicked on this video because I said Krennic was broken. So I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. You probably already know that Krennic has a modification for his blaster called Armor Breaker. And as the name states, it reduces armor of your target. And you can see this happen next to your health bar. Every time you get hit with Armor Breaker, you'll get a notification that your armor's been lowered. But there was a patch a while ago, around January I think, and this altered how Armor Breaker works. They said that the armor reduction will be applied after contact with the target. But unfortunately, this isn't always the case. You can see in this clip that Han Solo isn't getting any armor reduction at all, and the damage is staying consistent, and this isn't how Krennic should be working. After every hit with the Armor Breaker, the armor should be getting lowered, and it's not. So this is quite unfortunate for Krennic because he isn't exactly the best hero right now. This clip is how it should be working. You know, every time you get hit with the Armor Breaker, your armor gets lowered and Han Solo becomes a lot weaker and a lot easier to take down. If you notice in that clip, if Krennic's ability does reduce the armor, then by the time that his gun reloads the next round of Armor Breaker or whatever it's called, the armor is still lowered. So the next shot you fire with the Armor Breaker, considering you hit the target, will actually do double the damage because the armor's still reduced, and the next shot you take will do even more damage. Now this is how I think Krennic should be working, and this bug is quite unfortunate. It may be the fact that because that is a factor, that could be the reason why the armor doesn't register, but I never saw anything in the patch notes like that, so I'm guessing there is just a slight bug, which is really unfortunate for Krennic because yeah, he's not exactly the best villain right now. Also, in my hero tips video, the final clip was actually false information because the bug happened where there was no armor reduction, so apologies for that. It actually means if there was armor reduction, then the damage that Krennic would have done would have been even stronger. So just take that tip as it can be even better, not like it's a waste of a tip, because if there was armor reduction, then Krennic can really put out some big damage. But don't count Krennic out yet. He may not exactly be the best against other heroes, but he can make his troops pretty good against other heroes. The Wrath of the Empire ability gives troops an extra 100 health, giving them 200 health. This is actually enough to withstand a ground slam from Chewbacca, which I thought was pretty cool and unexpected. The trooper is left with 20 HP, so it also shows us that ground slam is actually set to do 180 damage against a troop, which is just pretty cool. It's not exactly the kind of tip you would get away with often, because if you're that close to Chewie, then you can pretty much die from the bowcaster pretty easily. But I actually found out about this in an online game, and I actually managed to back to myself and get out of Chewie's sight really quickly, so it is a good tactic to know. So if you're playing as Krennic, then make sure you're always using your Wrath of the Empire. Can disruption from Lando stop a clash between Luke and Vader? As we know, Lando's disruption stops heroes' abilities working, but unfortunately it doesn't stop a clash. Personally, I'd find that pretty annoying if it did happen, so I'm actually glad that it doesn't, and I wasn't really expecting it to work anyways. Moving to Nien Nunb, probably everyone's least favourite hero. So I'm testing out the turret today. How long does it actually take to upgrade? We tested it out with both heroes and infantry, and it turned out you actually need to kill 10 troops to upgrade the turret, which I actually think that is pretty high for trooper kills, because say you're in a Walker Assault game and you place a turret at the first stage, and you know, by the time the next stage, if you don't have 10 kills, then you're going to have to move that turret, you're going to have to place another one down, and I don't know, I think 10 kills is quite a lot to actually upgrade the turret with, and I don't think the turret is being used as effective as it could be, because it's not getting upgraded very often. As for heroes, a lot of damage. The first clip, it didn't upgrade until after the hero was defeated. You know, after you defeat the hero, you get an extra bonus amount of score for actually taking down the hero. It was only when we got that bonus amount of score that the turret actually upgraded. So we tested it with Palpatine so he can heal himself and we can continue to do the damage to see how much hero damage you actually need. And it turns out we need about 550 damage on a hero throughout one round to be able to upgrade it. And to me, that is so much damage. Like, that is more than one hero's health, and to me that's just so much. I mean, even with the combination of trooper kills and hero damage, that is still so much to even think about upgrading the turret. Sometimes I find myself getting locked on across the map with the turret. So what is the turret's max range that it can lock onto a target? I used the hero pickup as a guide to see how many meters it actually works, and we found out that it is around 60 meters from the target. Also, when the turret is upgraded, there is no increase in range. It stays the same around 60 meters. I've been saying a lot of bad stuff about the upgraded turret, but with all due respect, it does take out people in literally like 2 seconds and can wipe out a hero very quickly. But it's just getting to that upgraded stage that is really making Nien Nunb lack really good gameplay. I saw a lot of you guys comment that you thought Nien Nunb was actually the worst hero in my past video about underrated heroes, and I'm beginning to agree with you, but I will try my best to prove that if he's used right, then he can be one of the best heroes. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.